Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a Valentine's Day tutorial for you, and it is this sexy smoldering smoky eye. I call it a bedroom eye. My first Valentine's Day tutorial I went with smoky sexy. I think I'm gonna film another one tomorrow, which is more like girly romantic daytime, but this one's more of like a nighttime bedroom eye, like a classic smoky with a little bit of a twist because it's like a maroon burgundy smoky eye rather than a black, because that can be a little extreme. So I went with like a burgundy-ish warm color instead of black, and I used the Morphe 35P palette, which is perfect for Valentine's Day because it has amazing colors, amazing purples, pinks, burgundies, warm tones, cool tones, all types of tones, but very romantic colors. When I saw this palette in my collection, I knew I had to use it for today's video, and I think I'm gonna use this like bright glittery purple tomorrow for my other tutorial. So love this palette. This isn't sponsored by Morphe, but I am a Morphe affiliate. You guys already know the deal with Morphe. Use the coupon code Rosita for a discount. I love my Morphe palettes. They're affordable. The only thing I don't like is packaging. I just wish it had like a clear top so I can see the colors, but I can kind of get over that because they are super affordable. So I was having somewhat of a bad skin day. I don't know what happened, but my skin was kind of really sensitive and red. So you'll see that throughout the video that I had to kind of pound on the makeup. So if your Valentine wants to take you swimming, this look is perfect because I pounded on the cake. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't wear makeup on the first date, on the second date, on the fifth date. You can wear as much makeup as you want. I just want to throw that out there. If you're watching this video, you probably love makeup, so this would be suitable for a first date, but for some people it may be too intense, too smoky, so I will have a more natural version of my Valentine's Day makeup, but I would wear this on a first date, second date, third date, fifth date, girl. If you feel like kind of sprucing it up and just going a little more dramatic, a smoky eye is definitely going to intensify everything. And yes, I have a satin pajama on. I mean, I had to. It's a sexy bedroom eye look, so I kept my PJs on. So enough of me rambling. If you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Hey guys, so I'm gonna get started with some lip balm, and this is the Jouer Enhancing Lip Balm. I'm a little sick, so excuse my voice. And then I'm doing my brows. I'm using the Hourglass Warm Brunette pencil. I love this stuff. I think you've already heard it multiple times that I love this stuff, and I'm just filling in my brows, and I don't want my brows to be too defined because we want to look sexy and smoldering, and that entails large, very like almost natural looking brows. So I'm just filling them in with my favorite pencil, which is this guy, and I'm just filling in any sparse areas. This is gonna make a huge difference. I feel like large brows and full brows are just so sexy. And then I'm going to clean them up, and I'm using MAC NC20 concealer, and I'm using this teeny tiny brush, and it's gonna get really up and close up in there. And this one's from Morphe. I will try to link the brushes down below. It's really hard to link the brushes. Oh wait, let me see. I think I have it here. Nope, wrong one. I'll try to link it down below. But it's NC20, and I'm just using a really small, precise brush to clean up my brows because I haven't gotten them done in about a week. Then I'm going to just blend that out, and I'm using this MAC like duo fiber eye brush, and this is the MAC 286. And I'm using a little bit of the Kat Von D eye primer and the Urban Decay Eden primer because I was just kind of testing out my primers, seeing which one I like the most. I really like the Kat Von D. The consistency is really nice. They're both really matte. The Kat Von D is a little bit more yellow toned, where the Eden is a lot more like flesh, like neutral beigey kind of bone color. But I really like the Kat Von D. They're both really matte, so I have really dry eyelids, and I'm always on the hunt for a really good eye primer that's gonna make my eye makeup last but not gonna dry out my lids, because my favorite one is the Paint Pot by MAC, but those kind of dry me out. I'm applying some tape, and then I'm jumping into the Morphe palette, and I'm just using this really nice creamy beige color, and I'm just going to apply that into the crease, and I'm using this Senna Cosmetics blending brush, and I really like this brush because it's very fluffy. I got it on Haute Look one time, and I do not regret it. I really like this brush. It's very soft, it's very large, it reminds me a lot of the Sephora Pro Crease brush. And then I'm going to jump into this like mauvey color, and this dusty pink kind of color, and I'm just going to apply that all over the eye. And I'm using a Luxie brush, and this is the Luxie Lush Eye Shading 213. I really like this brush because it's synthetic, so it packs on lid colors beautifully. This is perfect. This is a perfect type of brush for any glitters or any shades that you're applying all over the lid. And I'm just applying that pretty messily. Now you have the tape as kind of like an outline, so don't be afraid to get really up onto that tape, because when you take off the tape, it's going to just clean up that look really, really good. So you don't have to be too precise with this. Also, put the tape on the back of your hand a few times before applying it to your face so that it doesn't like rip your skin or anything. And then I'm using this kind of deeper warm tone right into the crease, and I'm using this Zoeva crease brush, and it is, let me see, I'm trying to look for it. Here we go. Zoeva Luxe Crease Brush. Very also similar to one of my favorites, MAC 221, but the 221 is like always out of stock. So now I'm just going to really, really blend that out. The key to this look, of course, is blending. You want it to look very sultry, very sexy, very smoky, and that entails a lot of blending and a lot of additions. So I'm just blending this out, and I'm going pretty high up onto my crease, and I'm using this really cool thing. It's called the Vera Color Switch. This one's a Solo. They sell it at Sephora. I love this stuff. I went on a huge rant on Snapchat about this. Basically, you can add a black shade, for example, to your brush, use it on your eyes, use the color switch duo, like just wipe it in there, and then you can jump into a white shade with that same brush, and it's not going to have any black on it. So it basically instantly cleans your brush. I mean, you still want to clean your brushes, obvi, but if you don't have too many brushes, it's definitely something you should really pick up. And I'm getting really close up onto that tape right now, and I'm just blending, and I'm using the Beauty by Rosita blending brush, which I really, really love. If your brush seems a little like rough or maybe scratchy, just wash your brush with a little bit of oil, and it should soften everything up. I know some of my Morphe brushes, I've had to do that. Just like rougher brushes really blend well. It really depends on your style of blending. And then I'm going to take this angled brush from Morphe, and I'm using the black shade in that palette, and I'm going to kind of create a fake wing liner with shadow. Now we're not going to be using a liquid liner because we want this to be sexy and smoky and sultry. So basically pretending like you're doing wing liner, except now you have the tape. It really, really helps you out because you can get messily onto that tape and you're still going to have a sharp edge. If you're beginning to get into makeup and you don't feel comfortable doing wing liner on your own, like just freeballing it, definitely use some tape and use this kind of shadow technique. I'm telling you, you're going to have some really nice sharp lines, and it just makes the look very wearable and not as crisp, because liquid liner can sometimes be a little dramatic. But this is just more sexy. It's still dramatic, but just a little bit more sexy. My mom is like in and out of the video, so I'm sorry. I'm using the white shade in that palette for my brow bone with a Vera brush, and then the other side of that brush in the inner corner with some nylon. And so I'm just smoking that out with a pencil brush and just continue to just apply some black, smoke it out. Apply some black and blend it into the burgundy kind of maroon color. This is really going to intensify it but still keep it smoky. I'm applying some mascara to my lashes. I believe this was a Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which is perfect for Valentine's Day. And I'm going to be applying some Lotus Lashes. But first, I'm going to tightline. This makes a huge difference when applying lashes or mascara. Just apply your black liner right up on that upper lash line. It tickles a little bit, but it makes such a difference. So I'm using these Lotus Lashes. I will try to leave the name down below. I don't see it here on the package, but I love them. They're very flirty. For this kind of look, you want something very flirty and something that kind of mimics like a cat eye. So you want like a cat eye wispy effect, which these are perfect because they look very delicate. They don't look too spiky. The House of Lashes Iconics are also great lashes, but they are spiky. So these are a little bit more like subtle and delicate and just really good quality lashes. I'm using the Makeup Forever Nourishing Primer because my skin was very sensitive at this point, and I'm using the Dr.Brandt Pores No More pore refiner. I love this stuff. It's my favorite primer ever. And then I'm applying the Kojendo Liquid Illuminator to my face. And then I'm going to mix that with the Estee Lauder foundation in the shade Tawny. And I'm using my Beauty Blender Pro to blend that out. And sometimes I like applying my illuminator underneath my foundation for a less dramatic look. Now this foundation is a full coverage foundation. You want to make sure you have a nice canvas. I would go with like a full coverage because you are doing a smoky eye. So you want to balance your eyes out with your foundation. I wouldn't go with like a BB cream or a CC cream. Use a full coverage foundation. L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible is like my #1. Well, it's kind of like tied with this one. So Estee Lauder Double Wear or like L'Oreal. And this one's really long lasting and long wearing. So if you're going on a really long date, this is perfect because it ain't going nowhere. Literally, you can hug someone. You can, I don't know, not cry, hopefully not cry, but you can do anything and it's not coming off, which I really, really love. And then I'm using the Makeup Forever Concealer in the shade Y23. You really want to look awake, and the key to a smoky eye is to balance that out with a bright under eye. So the smokier and the more intense you go, the like brighter you want to go underneath your eye. So I'm using a shade that's way lighter than my skin tone, and I'm just blending that up. And you don't want to get too close to that shadow because we don't want to ruin any precision that we have there. I'm also applying some to my chin, right above my lips. And then I'm just going to blend that into the rest of my face. And then I'm going to further blend that with that same MAC brush that I used on my eyes. So that's the key to this color switch duo, is you can use one brush for different purposes because you're basically cleaning it and starting fresh. Now I'm using the RCMA palette. I think this is the 11. Yep, VK11 palette. And this is a Sigma lip brush, and I totally copied this from, who was it? Carly Bybel, her nose contour technique. This was the first time that I was using this palette, and I love the palette, but I definitely have to just keep practicing. This is the Sigma Lip L05 brush. That Morphe brush was very similar, the one that I was using to clean up my brows, and that was the Morphe E35. So I'm just blending this out with my favorite Luxie angled eye brush, but I don't know what it was, but my skin was just not cooperating. Like, it wasn't grabbing foundation, it wasn't grabbing the contour. So I'm just cleaning it up with some concealer, and this is the Nars concealer in Custard. I'm actually like in the works. I'm actually planning kind of like a meetup with one of my favorite brands, which is really exciting. So I want you guys to let me know if you'd be available to come. It's gonna probably be in March, most likely on a Friday, and just like shoot me an email with like the subject, maybe New York City meetup. It would be in Queen Center Mall in one of my favorite stores. So yeah, just let me know. I'm using RCMA powder, so sorry, totally got sidetracked. I'll have like the paragraph down below. I use the RCMA no color powder, and I'm using Tom Ford eyeliner. I kind of applied a lot of that no color powder, but it's okay because we're going to wipe it off. It got all over, but that's okay. So I'm just kind of not doing a wing with the liner, but just kind of hiding that lash band, and then just applying a little bit more of that black shadow. So I'll have everything about like that potential meetup down in the description, so please read that so that I can kind of get like a clue of how many people would come. I don't know the exact details and I can't really share too much, but just know that it's in the works. And I'm going to contour my face, and I love this brush. It's from Zoeva, and it's a Luxe Contour Definer, and I'm using Bobbi Brown Golden Light to contour. Like, look at that contour. Look how easy that was. I love this brush. It's so amazing. It has a really weird shape, but it cups your cheeks so nicely. It almost looks like the brush is like ruined, or it came like with a dent, but it's on purpose. It's supposed to be like that, and I love it. Again, this is Zoeva Luxe Contour Definer. It does exactly that. It defines your contour. And I'm just going to wipe away that RCMA powder. I love the RCMA powder. It's so amazing. It has no color, so you can be fair, you can be dark, you can use this powder. It's not going to give you as much of a cast. Although, if you pack it on like I did, it will leave a cast. So don't use like a heavy amount if you are of a darker complexion. I'm using Milani Luminoso blush with the Nars Yachiyo brush. And I think this blush is perfect because it's not too much, but it's going to give you that sexy, like, flush. You don't want to go too overboard. You want something still kind of natural that looks like you're just naturally flushing for your Valentine's Day. And I'm just applying some of that blush to my eyes. So this really ties your look together. I love doing this, either your bronzer or your blush onto your eyes. Yes, and that was a Sony Kashuk brush, and now I'm using the burgundy in that palette, in the Morphe palette, with the Kat Von D Shade Eye brush, and I'm using the fatter edge to just go crazy with my lower lash smokiness. Like, I am just going to town, and I love how a warm burgundy color like this looks underneath the eye. It looks so sexy. Now I'm using the Tarina Tarantino Tommy Jet Liner on my waterline to really make things really sexy. I really love using black when I'm trying to go for that sexy look. And I'm applying a little bit to that lash line just to kind of hide any lash line that we may have there. When you're not doing liquid liner and you apply lashes, you want to make sure you at least hide the band and hide any powder that may have fallen on your lashes. I'm applying a little bit more mascara. This one's from MAC. It's my favorite. It's the Giga Black mascara. I love this for my bottom lashes especially. It really defines them. I'm not going too crazy with the lower lash mascara because we do have a lot of smokiness down there, but when you do smoke out that lower lash line, you should apply some mascara. Now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I mixed pretty much all of the colors except for that really bronze shade, and look at the highlight. Oh my god, I was obsessed. I am so loving this palette. I really like these highlights. I think better than the single palette, the single highlights. They're just a lot more buttery, a lot softer, and a lot more blendable. And I was using a Morphe fan brush. I'm applying more of that MAC nylon right in the inner portion of the eye to really open them up, and then applying some of that black really closely on that lower lash line to deepen things up. Now this lip combo I totally stole from Victoria. I'll leave her link down below. I did leave her link in my other video, but this is a Sephora lip liner in Nothing But Nude, and she talked about this lip combo in another video, and I fell in love. So I'm just lining my lips, overlining them a little bit to give me that pout. Now for Valentine's Day, or if you're going on a date, most people would go for a liquid lipstick, but I'm going for this one. This one's Bobbi Brown Uber Beige, and I just like the look of a really sexy, pouty, glittery, glossy lip. And this is a Lancome lip gloss in, what is this one called? Oh my god, I totally... Rose, what is that one called? I need to know now. Of course, I can't find it. Okay, I will leave that also down below. I'm the worst at voiceovers. Please, I don't know. I thought I had all the products here with me, but I don't. Oh, Rose Optical. See? Come through, memory, come through. Rose Optical is a Lancome lip gloss. I'm obsessed, Victoria. Thank you for putting me on. Okay, now I'm doing my brows just a little bit more defined, just to match the intensity of the eye. And this is the Inglot Brow Definer Pomade in the shade, I guess, number 15. It's a lot lighter and warmer than the other shades that I use, 17 and 19, but I was kind of just testing it out, and I'm using a Zoeva wing liner brush. And this is just going to pull the look together. It really defines your brows, add some color to them. If you're going with a smoky eye, what I suggest doing is doing your brows first, and then intensifying them as need be. So if you feel like your eyes are just too intense for your brows, then you could just add some intensity. So I like to just go up rather than go down. I'm adding some clear brow gel so that they don't go nowhere on my date. And I'm just intensifying that smoky eye by applying some of that darker burgundy shade and mixing it between that black onto my crease. And this is going to really give it that seamless, sexy, smoldering look. And then just going back to blending with that Zoeva brush. And yeah, that was really, really fast. I'm so sorry. And I'm so sick. I don't know how the heck I got sick, but I've been drinking so much Theraflu. I feel crazy. And then I'm using the Illamasqua Heroin eyeshadow with my favorite Luxie angled eye brush, and this is just gonna make that nose contour pop. And I don't know, I just really have been into contouring my nose. I'm applying the LA Colors I Love Makeup Contour Palette Obsessed to clean up that nose contour. It really makes a huge difference. That banana shade, oh my lord, it really cleans it up. And then I'm applying the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit to my nose, to right above my lips, Cupid's bow, above my eyebrows to give me an instant eye lift. I'm letting down my hair, checking it out. Checking it out. Applying some Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. Love that stuff. And then some Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. Also really love that stuff. Just kind of letting that dry off. I definitely need like a fan for this instead of just using my hands. And then guess what? I'm applying a little bit more bronzer to my eyes. And I don't care. This is how I do my makeup, okay? Yes, a lot of products, but that's just how I get the look, okay? I'm applying this from Dry Bar. It's my favorite. I love this stuff. It's called Triple Sec. Gives you instant volume. It's like a dry shampoo / texturizing spray. Learned it from Alexandria Garza. She talked about it and I love it. And I applied a little bit of that hairspray just to give me some texture and some like body. So that's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys. Mwah.